Good morning, everybody. Bitcoin's had a little breakout then. It is a little breakout, but it's good because it's moved us into a upper range, which is above 44,300. So long as we're above 44,300, we have every chance to make our way up to the next level, which is 46,500 or 600, thereabouts, which is, again, like a nice little stride. So the key really here is, you could be immediately bullish as long as we're above 44,300. If you do start closing below that, we'll have to move ourselves to the daily because there's the 10 exponential you'd expect at this point now to hold us, which is 43,300. So basic increments of $1,000 really. So when you put that into context, it's good to see Bitcoin is capable of doing this, but also it is on thin ice. Like it's not the biggest, most amazing thing you've ever seen in the world. The majority, in my opinion, of the biggest, most amazing moves in the world were done last year, and what we're seeing now is that battle, that range being fleshed out, which is cool because that's kind of what we expected really. That this range from 48, well, we'll call it 46, back down to like 38 is what's going to be played out until the halving really, where it'll probably drop off. So yeah, but it is good though, let's face it, it is good. So above all moving averages, nothing on the daily to say pump or trend or anything like that when it comes to the itchy cloud obviously, but when it comes to momentum, it's slow and steady wins the race, actually. So you can't really complain with that. So, it's not the only thing in the world, is it? The Dixie has and is a major contender in this race to the upside. And you would normally expect this to move counter to the rest of the market. So what we saw is 4 days ago we reached a peak, double topped, and now we've come back down. And it actually looks very similar to a Bitcoin chart, actually. In the way that it's trying to and wanting to prove to everybody that it is the one that's going to break out. Again, when it comes to daily itchy clouds, there's no pump, there's no trend, there's none of that. But there is also no slowing down of momentum. So the Dixie that is in the dollar is still wanting to move. So recognize that for what it is. I still have a preference over here, which is that the dollar is going to make its way up to 105.4. And with that, everybody else should take a back seat, really. S&P yesterday made its way to a new all-time high, which, for, I suppose, it might as well just consider it to be $5,000, which is cool. Now, are we going to start cooling off? Are we going to start rolling over? Are we going to start consolidated on this just because of that? Well, we got 2 weeks in a row where we've got a significant money flow index reads, and even though it's very small at the moment, this is a bearish divergence on the money flow index on the weekly, which is sitting at 94, which is very high for anything like an indice, for instance. So that's extremely high. And it doesn't mean that it can't go on. We see this all the time. Yeah, you get a money flow index read, and then it goes on with the bearish divergence, which kicks it down, and then it comes down. So look, it can go higher. Obviously, it can go higher. But when it comes to risk, if let's just say, I've just inherited, $10,000. I'm going to put it into stocks. I'd say, good idea. Like, I'm all up for that, but maybe not this week. All right? Like, stocks are good. What is your expectation of stocks at this point now? Do you think we can go on for a serious rally? Do you think it's a safe entry point, basically? Or do you think it's probably best to wait for the consolidation to come in, wherever that might be, whether it's this week, next month, wherever? I would probably say there's a good chance that we're going to come down, and with that, save you 10 grand for the moment, because you know what, the dollar's moving up, and with that would probably be okay to hold your dollars. So for most people, obviously they want super bullish, news. Everyone wants everything to go up all the time, and that is absolutely fine. That is completely fine. I suppose at this point now for altcoins, it's becoming more interesting. Like I said yesterday, altcoins were pushing Bollinger Band centers, and with that could become a really decent breakout. We saw that on the Patreon. It seemed to be the most common thing that we were looking at, is that they're all pushing like a major resistance, and if they break that resistance, they break out. So I made that video yesterday about how altcoins could break out from this level, because they could, and now they've got the, maybe not the green light, but there's more chance of that even now, because Bitcoin's above 44,000, Ethereum's above 2,400, and that's going to give a little bit more wiggle room for those altcoins to start breaking out from those center Bollinger Bands, really. So that is good. I just still have to stick to my original analysis, really, which is that, this is a range. We've not made a new all-time high. Effectively, getting out near the top is a good idea. But if we do break above 46,000, we'll call it 46,600, then actually the chances of this moving on to a new all-time high, well, not a new all-time high, a new local high, is actually quite appealing. That concept is quite appealing. So we'll take ourselves back over to the weekly, just one little last time, where we do see a nice trend line of cooling off on the money flow index, and this is good to see. But it also holds a bit of a problem. So the fact that we've come down this far means that, we could actually pump all the way back up to the top of the Bollinger Band, which basically is a new local high. But we will most likely generate one super drive of bearish divergence on the money flow index. And, just to put it out there, bearish divergence or bullish divergence on a weekly money flow index normally marks a significant peak. That's obviously a very big example of that, where the peak had been generated. And again, the bullish divergence works in the same way as well. So we got low here, and then we got a higher low here. Bullish divergence, only way is up. We've got lows here, and higher low here, marking pretty much to low. Only way is up. So high here, low high here, only way is down. High here. And again, that is an extreme read, really. It's quite high. Are we going to create a lower high here? And I think given the size of that here, which is a very high money flow index read just generally anyway, I think it's very likely that we do generate a lower high. So that would be the bearish divergence, and you would be waiting for the pullback, really, the consolidation. Now, when you're looking to navigate and spot significant lows, obviously you'll see that reflected on price action after significant periods of consolidation, and then you can manage your way to a higher low, really, on a weekly, and make the opposite call, which is, I think we've already either had a top or we're going to get another top, and that would be it. And then basically a little bit later on down the line, we'll be like, okay, what are we looking at now? We're looking for low, we're looking for higher low. Okay, it's an educated guess to think that this is where the low is going to be or thereabouts. And only way is up. So it's still slow and boring when you're looking at things on weekly, and especially on the monthly as well. The monthly money flow index is extremely high, considering the rally was only it's less than 200%. I'm just trying to put it out there, really. That as much as I love Bitcoin and I love crypto, I also recognize the risks that are involved. But I'm not joking when I say it. There is a chance that altcoins can rally. There actually is. They might not rally to new all-time highs, but they might V-shaped recover from the lost previous highs. And it's a bit of a sweeping statement. All altcoins will behave differently. There is no altcoin that is created equal in this world. They all do their own thing. I mean, yesterday was a decent day, really. We woke up with a nice move on Monero, a bit of a gamble buy. So little things here and there, tiny sort of trades I'm willing to take sometimes, but overall, I really do have to respect the market and the risk in the market, especially when the overall analysis requires a broader outlook, like Dixie stocks, which can very easily start to consolidate in their own right, and obviously Dixie start to move up. So my general vibe is that upside is actually quite likely in the short term, although we might have already seen that happen already. We might not see any higher than this, but we have had the upside as expected on yesterday's video. but we've not made a new local high. In fact, anything below the candle body closures of 46,600 is obviously a lower high, and that would imply that we do sort of trickle down to a lower low at some point. And same thing on the weekly as well. Like I said, you know, the momentum will generate a lower high, and that would be bearish divergence of one drive on a money flow index, which often sparks a major consolidation. Not the bear market, but something similar, like a bit more of a longer drawn out deal. But between now and the halving, yeah, we live within the range, and the range is reinforced as well by a Bollinger Band as well, a 20 moving average on the weekly. So definitely a good support around here, and I would expect resistance around here. But there is always that chance that we do break out. These things happen. Crypto is a beast, definitely. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Not much more to say. So for those of us who are the hodlers, the hodl bags win. For those of us who are sitting on the sidelines from our trading accounts, that's still absolutely perfectly fine. You know, you can back both sides by doing that, but my trading account is pretty much flat, cash, you know, waiting for a much better environment. And by saying that, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with this trend. For instance, the trend is good, and the trend is actually pointing to more upside. That's fine. But the trend is also, you know, what I would consider to be quite high already. And, you know, I just, risking money is a bit of a problem for me. You know, there's really no need to risk money. You can still make a trade here, a trade there, 5, 10, whatever % here and there, but holding blindly, not really for me. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Again, nothing has really changed. I still think we're on our way to make a lower high, so that would give us the lower low. And between now and the halving, there is this not fake, but there's this buy the rumour, sell the news event, which is coming around the corner, and you just got to be aware of that, really. That's normally how it goes, and I don't expect it to be any different, especially as Dixie and stocks look the way they look as well at this very moment in time. So just be careful is all I'm saying. Like, I am super cautious, massively conservative trader, but that doesn't mean that there's not money to be made here. I mean, you can easily make some money, but you just got to recognise what the risk involves. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.